2 weeks down, still 4 weeks to go before the Cowboys open the regular season on September 8th against the New York Giants, and things start to really get interesting now. Always good to get that first preseason game out of the way. The starters only play the first half of the first quarter. Dak Prescott leads Dallas on a 65-yard drive, conservatively moving the team on 4-for-4 passing. First-team defense played well, but it all left us, including Dak, wanting to see more.
100%. That's the only frustrating part is it's a process to get ready for a game, and you do, and you get your emotions and all that route set in, and get that first drive under your belt, and you're like, it's time to go, and then you have to sit down.
With injuries on the defensive line, opportunities are there for others to step up, and the Cowboys are hoping 2017 first-round pick Taco Charlton will do just that, now entering his third season. As Keith Russell tells us, Taco says he hears the criticism about his lack of production, but he's no longer listening.
Taco Charlton has heard it loud and clear. The scrutiny of a Cowboys fan base he feels has completely written him off.
The people already, their mind's made up already about me. So like I said, if I do good, like I said, they gonna brush it under the rug, or it was bad to them. If I do bad, it's terrible. They just want an excuse to justify the fact they never liked me in the first place. It is what it is. Like I said, I don't try to win that no more. Like I said, I'm happy with myself. God got me at the end of the day, so I do what I need to do. I show up, I work, and then let God take care of the rest.
Only 4 career sacks. Charlton believes that number might be greater if he had more opportunities to play his natural spot at left defensive end. Also saying he has never complained about playing through pain, but he has come to grips with what he feels is relentless criticism.
A lot of people don't like me as is, so if I win, like I said, I gave up trying to win that game. I mean, it don't matter if I do good, they're going to say it's bad. If I do bad, they're going to say it's terrible. So, I mean, I'm not really, like I said, I don't try to win that game no more.
When asked if his agent was trying to facilitate a trade, Taco's response, I'm here. In California with the Cowboys, Keith Russell, CBS 11 Sports.
And we head live to Oxnard in about 10 minutes as Keith's got a little something with Leighton Vander Esch, and looking for a great second season out of the Cowboys linebacker.
Looking forward to that. Taco knows you can't please all the people all the time, Bill.
That's exactly right. We've learned that a long time ago.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Bill Jones back again with a look at sports. Bill?
And 3 days away from Hawaii for the Cowboys, by the way. A word of advice about these Cowboys preseason games. Don't pay attention to the final score. The last 3 times the Cowboys won the NFC East, in 2014, 16, and last year, they had a combined preseason record those 3 years of 1 win and 11 losses. 0-4, 1-3, and 0-4 last year. Instead, focus on individual players. And in last night's game, with Zeke Elliott holding out, all eyes on rookie 4th-round draft pick running back Tony Pollard out of Memphis. Pollard starts, plays 1 series with the first-team offense, 4 carries, 16 yards. And after the game, Jerry Jones was saying that Pollard has the kind of ability to carry the entire load. A not-so-veiled message to his holdout running back?
Nervous, a little anxious, or any way to put it into words before the game?
Yeah, just a little bit, just at the start of the game. But once I got my first run in my system, I was good.
And I mean, he's a guy that wants to take advantage of this opportunity. He's a special player. Tonight was nothing short of what he's done all training camp long. He's going to continue to get better.
He looks confident out there. We've seen him do it. We know he's capable of, if he really needs to, carry the whole load.
And don't think Zeke and his agent aren't listening in Cabo. First-team offense plays 1 series, then Cooper Rush and the second-team offense have 5 series the rest of the first half, 3 of them ending in field goal attempts. No touchdowns on the night, which leaves lots of room for improvement as training camp resumes in Oxnard tomorrow.
We kind of left it with a little sour toast getting down there in that end zone and couldn't get a catch.
Yeah, obviously you want to score touchdowns there and go back and look at each of those drives, and you can point to a particular play or this happened or that happened, and that's what we'll do. We'll evaluate it, drive by drive, play by play within those drives. But, for the most part, was pleased with that first drive by the offense, and unfortunately we weren't able to score the touchdowns we wanted to once we got down there with any of the units.
The big highlight of the night comes on defense. That ends in bad news, too. Undrafted rookie linebacker Luke Gifford of Nebraska Takes to the game what he's shown in practice, instincts and an interception, but on the play, Luke Gifford suffers a severe high ankle sprain, and the Cowboys now faced with a decision whether to put Gifford on injured reserve, which would lose him for the entire season. Luke Gifford, a guy the Cowboys were hoping to develop this season, but it's not as if the Cowboys aren't stacked already at the linebacker position. And with more on that, live in Oxnard, let's check in with Keith Russell. Keith?
Hey, Bill Jones, great job calling the game last night. And in that game, you saw that first-team defense make a lot of plays. And you saw the guy who's always in the middle of the action. That's number 55, Leighton Vander Esch. You know, one of the great things about training camp is we get to see these guys grow day in and day out in front of our eyes. They come back the next year, they've transformed. And that's the case for Leighton Vander Esch. His growth is easy to see. What a difference one season makes.
It has been probably the best year of my life so far.
Rewind back to last year's draft, and Cowboys Nation was baffled about the selection of Leighton Vander Esch in the first round, down to even how to pronounce his name.
But hey, go Vander Bosch.
Vander Bosch. His name is Vander Esch.
Vander Esch, whatever his name is. Go Vander Esch. You with us now.
Snap back, looking, throws it over the middle, intercepted by Vander Esch at the 35.
Now, after a stellar rookie season where he was named to the Pro Bowl and All-Pro, everyone knows his name and, more importantly, his game.
I have high expectations for myself, and it's just, I mean, it's cool to get recognition like that, especially voted from your peers and everything, but like I said, I mean, now, like, that's from last year, and I'm already focused on, I mean, it's what matters this year, and it's getting back to that, getting back to, I mean, you still got a lot to prove year in and year out. What you did last year doesn't matter, and it's what you do this year. It's what you do now. You got to live in the moment now.
No one knows Leighton's drive to be the best more than his mom, Sandy, and father, Darwin, who, despite living in Idaho, have been a fixture around he and the team, pulling into every stop with the Vander Esch Express. And they say you haven't seen anything yet.
This year, he knows, more what's expected of him, and we can feel that, he's more confident this year. So we're more confident as well.
That confidence goes hand in hand with expanding the brand. Leighton's nickname, the Wolf Hunter.
This thing has taken on a life of its own. I mean, did you ever imagine it would get this big this fast?
No, I mean, I got to give a lot of credit to the fans and everybody for enjoying it and kind of making it take off the way it did. I mean, I couldn't have done it without them. Couldn't have done it with any of the teammates, and I mean, the people love it. So if the fans love it, I love it.
It certainly has a special ring to it. Matter of fact, matching Wolf Hunter rings. One for father and one for son. But where do you even get one of those?
He's got connections that I don't know about yet, but I told him I'm going to get a ring next, so... Yeah, mine will be a little bit different, though.
So Darwin and Leighton's ring will not compare to the ring you're going to get.
Right.
What are you talking about?
His is just an experiment.
The experiment of Jerry Jones taking a kid from a town of 400 people has paid off, with Vander Esch being named one of the top 100 players in the entire league coming into this season.
How have you embraced stardom?
Just ignoring the outside noise and just keep making strides. Obviously, I set the bar high for myself, always trying to improve. So no matter what comes with it, you got to bring yourself. I mean, you can get up to the top of the mountain, you got to bring yourself back down to the bottom and start right back over. Once you think you've made it, that's when stuff starts to get ugly.
How pretty would it be for number 55 to be the centerpiece in the franchise's 6th Super Bowl title?
I think he's proven himself that he loves the game. He's got one ultimate goal in mind yet, and that's to get a Super Bowl. So that's really what he's playing for, and for all the Cowboys fans out there, he's working to get you one.
One title Vander Esch has already claimed is the title of husband. He punctuated his storybook year by getting married this offseason.
The fact that, I mean, she gets to live this whole entire journey with me and live this dream that I've had my whole entire life, along with my family and her family. I mean, they're all having a blast. Everybody's having a blast with it, and that's just something I take a lot of pride in, and being able to give back to everybody else that's on this journey with me.
What a summer. I mean, what a summer. Who has a summer like that? You know, his wedding, it took place in his home state of Idaho with around 200 people in attendance. That included some of his Cowboys teammates. But Bill, once again, that's not the only ring he plans to be wearing.
And I think there are a lot of Cowboys fans who would like that Wolf Hunter ring themselves. They could market that and make a lot of money if they wanted to. All right, you were in San Jose last night. One guy I was impressed with, the rookie safety out of Texas A&M, Donovan Wilson, with that interception. I've liked the secondary throughout camp so far. You've been in Oxnard now for a week. What's impressed you the most out there?
I liked Donovan Wilson's play. He was very excited about getting that interception when we interviewed him afterwards, Bill. But for me, the tone setter was also a secondary guy. It was Cheeto. I mean, that guy was everywhere. I mean, he was making tackles, closing on the runner really fast. Then that play where the San Francisco quarterback threw across the other side of the field. And, yeah, maybe he tugged at that jersey just a little bit. But that's what the great ones do. He batted that ball away. And what I've seen is I've seen him become more of a leader. He's more outspoken than he has been in his young time in the NFL. And now his play, I think his play is starting to match.
Both Cheeto Awuzie and Xavier Woods going into their third year. I look for breakout years for both of those guys. Now the big story this week out in Oxnard, how soon will Zach Martin get back into practice with that back injury that he has, because the Cowboys need that five-time Pro Bowl offensive guard very much. Thanks to Keith Russell in Oxnard. One of the storylines of this Cowboys camp, who will emerge as Dak Prescott's backup? Is that player on the team right now? And when the Cowboys said they will spread the ball around to a variety of receivers in Kellen Moore's offense, they weren't kidding.
Yep, three receivers to the left. Ball tip caught by Dak. As he releases it, ball gets batted back right to him. That's spreading the ball around, Bill.
I mean, I just wanted to show everybody I could catch, too. So at that point, I figured it was time to get down, showed off the hands, and I could get down and protect myself. So.
Dak finished off his perfect 4-for-4 night with a completion to himself last night. By the way, the last two Cowboys quarterbacks to catch passes in a regular season game, Tony Romo in 2012 and Troy Aikman in 1991. So Dak leads a 95-yard or a 65-yard, 9-play drive that leads to a field goal to start the game, and then made way for his backup quarterbacks. Cooper Rush plays the rest of the first half, one series in the second, goes 16 of 26 for 142. 3 of his 6 drives result in field goal attempts. Pretty nondescript night. And third stringer Mike White, under siege at times, did have one series in the final minute that ended with 4 straight incompletions inside the 5-yard line. 9 of 20 for 87 yards.
I thought Rush, if in general, I'd say that I was pretty pleased with how Rush played tonight overall.
Did you feel like you were in control out there?
Yeah, I like to think that's a strength. QB, it's important to have poise, and we did a really good job up front. We were giving me time, and receivers getting open. We were able to make some plays.
I was impressed with when White cut it loose in that 2-minute drill and really went down the field there right at the end of the ball game.
It's a good experience for Mike White to get out there and take snaps and play and handle some of the adversity that he did. I thought he did a really good job on that last drive.
It's the Cowboys' final week in California. Afternoon practices Monday through Wednesday, and then after a morning workout on Thursday, the team will fly to Hawaii for next Saturday night's second preseason game against the Rams, which you can see right here on CBS 11. Daryl Moose Johnston will join Babe Laufenberg and me in the booth for that game at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu. Speaking of a struggling offense, the Rangers